Well, Richard Tuite is being held at the jail downtown, but not for long now that a jury has determined he's not guilty.
Tonight we hear from juror number 1 about the holes in the case that the jury says they just couldn't dismiss. CBS News 8's Jeff Zevely is live at the Central Jail downtown with that. Jeff?
Beverly, it sounds like Richard Tuite will spend the weekend in the county lockup. 2 days ago, right across the street in the courthouse, when I listened to the closing arguments, for hours I watched the faces of the jury, and you could tell they just weren't buying the prosecution's case. But until we talked to juror number 1 today, we didn't know the anguish this case was putting them through.
It was a tremendous burden. All of us were aware of just what a huge responsibility we had.
Peggy Chaplin was juror number 1, and her tear-filled eyes tell the story of a woman who is emotionally and physically drained.
Richard Tuite was on trial. This is the rest of his life.
Chaplin, along with Terry Parra, juror number 4, say they just couldn't understand how Tuite, a mentally ill transient, could have snuck into the Crow home, killed Stephanie, and snuck out without leaving any fingerprints or DNA evidence.
It was a huge point.
Another cause for reasonable doubt, tiny drops of Stephanie's blood found on 2 of Tuite's shirts that could have been the result of sloppy police work. Because if Tuite killed the 12-year-old, would there have been much more blood?
It certainly was a cause for concern, and we really did go over and over the testimony.
Chaplin says watching Stephanie's mother and father relive the gruesome details of the murder in court was one of the hardest things she's ever had to do.
It was heartbreaking to watch them having to testify. And we honestly can say we never ever lost sight of the fact that they have suffered a huge, huge tragedy.
Although Michael Crow and his 2 friends, Aaron Hauser and Josh Treadway, have been cleared of any wrongdoing, their repeated confessions after the murder in 1998 created more questions than answers.
We felt that the boys were not on trial. This was not a trial looking at them. It was Richard Tuite that was on trial.
For the past 9 years, the Crow family has had the peace of mind their daughter's convicted killer was behind bars. And Chaplin knows what impact setting Richard Tuite free and declaring him not guilty will have.
But please be sure to get out there that to the parents, to the family, we never lost sight of their tragedy.
Tuite's attorney Brad Patton told me his client is currently facing no charges, and it sounds like from the sheriff's department that Tuite will be released from custody on Monday. In just a few days, he will be a free man. Barbara Lee.
All right, Jeff Zevely, thank you. Richard Tuite's attorney says that Tuite will stay with family members after he is released from prison, and they hope that he can live a normal life taking medication for his mental illness.